I just got in my new Oden'S eye palettes from the Perfect World collection. Once again, they have collaborated with 3 different creators, and once again they came out with some really fun color stories with some really amazing creators. So let's get into it. So I was kind of thinking, what should I do? I was kind of debating. I was thinking about it for quite a long time, like for as long as I could, because I wanted to be pretty quick with buying these. And at first I was like, I'm gonna low buy, maybe I should just get one. But then I started watching all these videos and everybody was doing such amazing looks with all of these palettes. So in the end, I decided to grab all of the palettes. I know, it's a lot. But I'm happy that I can show you the full collection today and I can really see myself doing a lot of looks with this. So let's hop in. First up, I have here the Planet Spirit eyeshadow palette with Battybean. She is such a cool creator with such an interesting, fun makeup style, and I feel like she really kind of surprised me with this palette, with this color story, because we've seen collaborations from her before that were a little bit more moody, a little bit more like Halloween themed, and this is so fun. It's so bright. I have to be honest, I was kind of thinking, do I need this? Maybe it's a bit too bright, maybe it's a little bit too warm. Nowadays I'm a little bit more into like softer toned down looks, but she did such amazing demos with this palette, and I think if you look at this as kind of like this 2 eyeshadow look for the summer, simple but fun, then it really makes a lot of sense. So I can't wait to play with this, can't wait to do a lot of summery looks. I think this looks amazing, and when I opened it I was like, okay, I'm happy that I got this one as well. I'm happy that the Battybean convinced me, and that is always a bit the thing with Oden'S eyeshadow palettes. I know they're gonna be so good. I know they're gonna be better than I even expect them to be when I get them in, so I always have to kind of like calculate that in when I make my decisions, that it's gonna look even better in real life. Then we have the Sea Talk palette by Laura May Beauty. Laura May Beauty is one of my favorite creators here on YouTube. She does such amazing makeup. She's really into shimmers, and I feel like she really inspires me by doing these kind of simple but also kind of interesting shimmery looks. I love to see like shimmers being layered and played with. I'm just really into shimmers. I just think she does really fun content, and I love the whole vibe of this palette. I love this kind of sea theme. It's something I'm always really like inspired by. And then on the inside, I think we have some really fun shades, but at the same time you can make it kind of wearable. You can make it kind of like everyday wear appropriate, especially these shades over here I think look great for that. But then we also have some really special looking shimmers in here. I haven't swatched anything yet. Like, this is 10 minutes after I first opened them. I've only filmed the close-ups and I still have to swatch them. I think this looks like such a fun palette, and I think even though there are blues and greens in here, it's not too bright. You can still make quite a elegant look with those. And then lastly, I have to say, this was the palette where I was sure I wanted to get it. This was like my very first choice because this is really up my alley, really my current makeup style. This is the Makeup.Just.For.Fun Flora Story eyeshadow palette. So very nature inspired. I love that. I love this packaging, by the way. I haven't really looked at it like close enough, I feel, because wow, I love the mushrooms over here. I love this whole color story you have on the outside. I think Oden'S just does such amazing packaging. And then we have the inside, and we have some purples, we have some greens, we have some almost neutral tones. This is what I am really going for a lot. Like, it's color, but it's still kind of neutral. It is interesting, but it still feels easy to wear, easy to create looks. And I just love the purples in here, the look of those greens. I think this looks amazing as well. I think all of these ladies did a great job with curating these color stories. I think it looks so cute, like such a beautiful collection, and all of these have a very different like role, a very different vibe, a very different moment that I would like to wear them, which is something very important when you get a lot of eyeshadow palettes in at once, I feel. I'm not saying that you need to buy them all, of course. I just want to like inform you today on what maybe would suit you best. I've been kind of thinking what I wanted to do with these palettes because there are 3 palettes here. But I feel like a 3 look full video, it will get a little bit much. We've already seen so many looks. There are already so many videos out there. So I just kind of want to have some fun with these palettes. Kind of use a lot of different shades from them. Just try them out all together. And then later on, I'm going to film like separate looks. Probably I'm going to share them with you in like short form content. Because I feel like it will already show you a lot of the possibilities. And I already know that this is going to be amazing quality. Like Oden'S is my favorite brand. I'm not expecting anything weird. I'm not expecting any weird surprises. So my goal is to inspire you today and in my other videos. So let's get into the look. Okay, so I just applied a little bit of eye primer and I've been kind of thinking about the look that I want to do. And I think I want to base it kind of around these greens over here. I also really love the shade Fauna. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I love these kind of bright teals. Looks so stunning. I also kind of want to try this shade over here, which is called Iridescent Shell. It looks very pink in the pan, but I've heard that it's more of a blue. So I really want to try that out, or maybe even Mermaid Scale. We'll see. And then I thought I could kind of combine it with maybe a little bit of sage or clover. Just mix it and match it a little bit. Maybe I will throw in some purple because I do love the combination of like teal and purple. So kind of thinking about something like that. So I'm actually kind of thinking I want to start with the Flora Story palette first. And I'm thinking I want to go in with sage. It's gonna make the look a little bit less bright, I think. But let's see what happens. So I'm just slowly building it up. I'm taking quite a precise brush, but I think I will take something else to blend it out a little bit more in a second. Once I have a little bit less on the brush, I'm taking it towards the inner part a little bit. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush. These sides are not even at all, so let's fix that. Let's blend the edges. This is not gonna be the main shade, but it's pretty pigmented and it is quite impactful. I feel like I could easily use this as the darkest shade in the look, which I quite like, kind of these mid-tone to deep shades that can still bring a lot of depth to the look. Just adding a little bit in the outer corner here as well. I think that is good to start with. And now let's go on to the Planet Spirit palette. We're gonna go into the brightest green shade and just like mix it in and see how that works. It's a little bit of an experiment. Sometimes trying to be original works out really well, but sometimes you also find out why nobody else was doing that in the first place. Ooh, that is so bright and pigmented. Okay. Oh, that is so nice. Okay, I love that shade. I feel like Oden'S Eye mattes have become better and better. I used to feel like the shimmers were the definite star of the show, but lately, with a lot of their newer palettes, I just feel like the mattes are so good as well. I feel like you can see the difference. You can see what it did on the lid. I don't have the more sage green under it. It is more bright. And then on the top you can see it does blend in a bit. And it does create a little bit of a like darker jungle green, which I think is pretty fun that these work together like that. And I'm just gonna take the fluffy brush and go over the edge again. And I think that's gonna make the sage green come out even a little bit more. Yeah, for sure, if you want like the true brightness of this Planet Spirit shade, then of course don't put anything under it. That can change the shade. By the way, that shade was called Kingdom. I don't know if I said the name. And then I want to go into Familiar, which is a pretty similar type of shade, but it is a shimmer and that looks amazing on the finger. And I'm really gonna focus it on the outer part. This is lovely. I feel like this palette is already worth it for those two greens. It's just looking so stunning. This is kind of like the more sticky shimmer formula that Oden's Eyes sometimes does, and I love the stick and the grip that this has. It's so easy to apply, and there's just something very, I don't know, very creamy but not creasy about it. At least I haven't experienced creasing with this personally. Okay, that is stunning, stunning, stunning. I think now I want to go into the Sea Talk palette, and I want to see what I want to use here. I think I'm gonna go further experimenting. I'm gonna go into the shade Iridescent Shell. This also feels very creamy, quite flaky, and it is a cool tone pink, like a Barbie pink with a very icy blue shift. It's very cool on my finger. Okay, I think with this one it really depends what you're putting next to it, because I think some shades are really gonna like make that blue come out, and some shades will really make the pink come out. But I definitely right now see both those shades in this eyeshadow on my eye. Okay, that is really cool. I don't feel like I have anything similar to this. It's very, very flaky, extremely flaky and reflective. It is so reflective that it will make a little bit of texture show up. At least I see that it enhances texture on my lids a little bit. I don't mind it, but something to be aware of for sure. And I always like taking the shimmer up a little bit over here. Okay, this is definitely much different from anything I've ever done, and I love it. Okay, I kind of just want to go all out, and I kind of want to grab the shade Azalea and put it on my lower lash line, and maybe take a little bit of Orchid as well. Let's start with Azalea. Alright, let's see how these purples stick on the lower lash line. This one seems a little bit on the softer side. I'm definitely gonna go in with the darker purple. Like, it doesn't stick the absolute best without a primer, I feel. By the way, there's quite a bit of fallout, so be mindful of that. I usually don't really mind it because I do my eyes first, and I just go on with a little bit of sticky tape actually to remove it, and everything that's left after that I kind of accept it. Okay, going in with the deepest purple shade. Okay, that sticks a lot better on the lower lash line. Just flew around a little bit too much, so I'm cleaning up a bit. I always clean up after I do my eyes as well, but then I can kind of see what I'm working with. How do we feel about this at this point? Are we trusting the process? I feel like it looks a little bit crazy. I think I'm gonna try and mesh everything together a little bit with Night Swim to kind of like mesh the top and the bottom. Starting out with a little bit because I'm a bit scared. I don't want to make it too dark. Just kind of blending that together. I feel like that's kind of working. Okay, this has become much more vampy than I anticipated, but we're going with it. Okay, I think what this look needs is a good old under the eye cleanup. Usually when I do some more crazy looks, that kind of fixes my trust issues with the look. Yeah, this looks kind of interesting right now. I'm just gonna do an inner corner highlight, and then I'm just gonna finish this whole look up. I think to not throw in too many different shades, I'm gonna go into the shade called Dawn, and I'm gonna put that in the inner corner. Yeah, I think that's gonna be what I do. Just taking that on a pencil brush. I feel that this is kind of like a green, red, gold kind of situation. Okay, this did throw in another shade for sure. Okay, I think I'm just gonna leave it at this. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look. I will put everything else I'm using on my face down below in the description. I think that this eyeshadow came out really nice. It's a bit outside of my comfort zone, but I feel like putting on all the other makeup, really cleaning up under my eyes, really made it all come together. I think the quality of these palettes so far that I've tried it is really, really nice. I love the color stories. I love how this look came out in the end, and the sparkles are just next level. As I said, I'm gonna be doing individual looks with each palette, and I'm gonna be uploading them as kind of like short tutorials so you can see what I would do with each palette, and so you can have a little bit more of an idea which one you would like the most, because these are still available. You still can get all of these. You can also, I believe, get them in a set. That's what I did. So yeah, I can't wait to play more with these palettes. I'm so excited that I finally got these in. I really want to try all of these shades and really show you everything you can do with it. And then that's gonna be everything for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe and let me know which of these is your favorite palette, or did you pick any of these up? I would love to hear from you, and then I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!